Blessed my family, do you have your copy of the true biblical land of Israel? No? Well, visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, and order your copy today. The True Biblical Land of Israel, originally a theological paper, proves to the reader that the land of Israel, according to the biblical geographic description, is Africa plus Arabia. Most definitely a must read for all. And while you are at it, our other books, namely The Heavens Declare the Glory, Rastafari and the Cosmos, as well as Anu, Ancient and Modern Revisited, are definitely of interest to all. Each book goes for only $20, but when you order the three together, you get them for only $50. So visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us today, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Blessed reading. Give thanks. Yes, blessed love, we do give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Give thanks for your presence with us. And of course, we are joyfully welcoming you into the tiger's nest, Honorable Priest Isaac, giving thanks and praises again to the Father and Mother of creation, and give thanks for such royal order and give thanks for such royal principles of the Black Christ in flesh. And we are also very thankful for all the wonderful words of encouragement and strength that, you wonderful people have been sending towards us. I must say, give thanks, heart of love, for all such support and strength and encouragement and appreciation, really, as they call it. We like to say to appreciate love, but you comprehend where we are. Appreciation, appreciate love to the works that has been done. And we definitely give thanks for just being, this is a oneness of family. And basically, this is why this reasoning here, this discussion here is also very relevant to the understanding of the oneness. Now, of course, you would have already seen what we are going to speak about. And it is not just like a topic, like the topic of the day. It is basically like real, like in tune for the very moment, like what they call real-time events taking place specifically in the island of Antigua. But what I am saying is that most of us in this conscious realms, we don't seem to have great interest when it comes to subjects of such nature. Subjects as it relates to our children in general, as it relates to the youths in general. No, we prefer to hear some sort of, battle between one side and the other side. Who has the truth? Who has the real order? Whose facts is more up to date? Who has the latest finds and the latest discovery? How many books did you read? Which museum did you go to? How many times you traveled to the pyramids? All of these, this is what we are into. But when it comes to let us rise the standard of our children even before they're born, let us get into, their minds and deal with their psychology even before they come out of the womb, and then putting things in order while they're in that infant stage, as it is called, bringing them to a better person, a better upbringing. We don't have too much time for that. I'm not saying that everyone turns their back on that, but I'm speaking with authority. As I said, let it be Mr. Muslim versus Mr. Buddhist on who is God. And man, people will be there waiting for you to come in. You understand? But when it comes to, let us speak of a proper homeschool program that we can put together for our children. And, there's a few people may trickle in and to see what's going on. And yeah, that's really what it is. And that's the attitude. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about, because as I said, we're speaking with authority here. We can just check the stats. I'm not asking it. Yeah, you could check the views. I'm not asking. You can go back in the catalog and check the subject areas and check the views and see where the interest of the people lies. So again, we speak of what we specifically know. They have, I think in the last 3 or 4 days, there have been 2 situations, very grave and unhappy situations, involving several youths, of which in both situations, at least one youth, and youth in this sense is between 16, 17, and 18, was badly injured, stabbed and beaten, and basically, I think one of them is on life support. Now, so I'm going to show to the audience. This is basically coming from the local news. So I don't know exactly what this platform would think of this. And I'm taking it from the other platform called Facebook. So what I'm saying is that there is I can warn you before we go into it, that there's some scenes that some people may not find appetizing as such to look at. So I'm just giving you that warning now. As I said, children involved in altercations, and in both cases, they were stabbing, bleeding, you know, life support. So there's some visual that the news would be showing. And I'm just giving you a heads up so it doesn't catch you by surprise. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. All right. Now, so, and it is very important that we see, and as I said, this is not me really passing it around. This stuff has gone viral, as they say. It's not something I really delight in looking at, to be very honest. But I mean, it's a point we're trying to make, and this is serious business. And for sure, let me just say also, it is not in any way even putting out those who are involved and let's say their business out there, but it's already out there. So we're putting it a little further out there because my international community needs to understand where we are as a people. Okay, let us just watch this and then we speak about it.
Good evening and a warm welcome to the ABS Evening News. Thank you so much for having joined us. My name is Garfield Burford. Welcome.
And I'm Terry Andrew. Good evening. A 16-year-old received 6 stitches after being stabbed 7 times, allegedly by an 18-year-old student at the Otto's Comprehensive School on Thursday morning. The incident happened on a corridor about 10:30 and caused a hubbub on the compound.
Well, the emergency medical services and police rushed to the compound after the 18-year-old 4th form student was allegedly heard telling the 16-year-old 3rd form student, quote, "All me I tell you, top interfere with me partner," end quote. After which he reportedly attacked the 16-year-old from behind with a pair of scissors. The victim was stabbed 3 times in the head and 4 elsewhere on the body.
Well, the attacker was reportedly swinging the scissors widely during the incident, but he was eventually subdued and held at the security booth, still bristling with rage, until police arrived and detained him. The victim, with his shirt covered in blood, was assisted on the compound before an ambulance transported him to hospital, where he was treated and later discharged.
Well, ABS News understands the violent incident was the crescendo of days of bickering between both students, in which the principal had earlier intervened and sternly warned both boys to de-escalate the tension and to behave on and off the compound.
Well, police are now investigating. School officials managed to restore calm to ensure the resumption of classes for the remainder of the day.
All right, give thanks. So just a clarity, so I think you got that clear. So as you see the headline there, the 16-year-old student that's of that secondary school there, stabbed 7 times, 6 stitches, and several stabs in the head. The news report said that the principal, I heard him as well, not on this news report, another one. He was explaining that I think it was the day before or something like that. He had a conversation with the same two boys, and and he's trying to put them in order. So that's basically it. I'm going to come back to that. Trust me. Let's continue. Let me see if that's the next one now. So as you could see, just to hear that alone, just to listen to that alone is touching to the heart. Some people can't even stand hearing this. Imagine what the students of the school meditated. Because we can talk about, and it's getting there. We could talk about the United States of America and all the school shootings that they have. Antigua is 108 square miles. There are approximately 100,000 people here, they say. You understand? That's just a little, the island itself is like a little metropolis in a sense. I mean, it has a size, but just consider the population. That's like a big city. So you cannot always compare the two environments. We never have no mass shooting here for sure, or school shooting, but youths does bring guns to school. All right. So that means it's just a matter of time, isn't it? How it sounds to you? Just a matter of time. If it reached to this, it's just a matter of time. Now, I didn't come here to huff and puffing. In fact, it's the huffers and the puffers also forced me to come forward and do this, because I despise when people jump up and start to react to these events and act like if, we need to do something, we need to do what? But anyway, I'm jumping ahead of the game. Let me find the other story. I think it's the next one. Now, as I said, you see how that sound? Well, how this sound is what you're going to see in the next one. So you can guard yourselves now. Let me see.
Let's talk about this developing story now. 9 new COVID-19 cases were confirmed.
Oh, no, that ain't it. No, we ain't care about that here. We're talking. They might take down the video for that comment, eh?
The pandemic, the estimate pandemics world
severely injured
populations.
All right, here it is.
In another story here for us on this Thursday evening, a mother's anguish after her 16-year-old son was severely injured in a grisly attack by 3 males believed to be between 16 and 28.
No, this is another 16 again now. This is another 16. First 16, second 16. Just kind of drawing that to your attention.
Son was severely injured in a grisly attack by 3 males believed to be between 16 and 28. The distraught mother spoke with our news team today as her child is now engaged in a titanic struggle for his life in hospital. The woman tells us she fears the worst for her child. It has been 6 days since Joaquim Jackson has been in the intensive care unit at the Celeste Bird Medical Center. He suffered wounds mainly to his head after being attacked, suffering lacerations to his mouth, face, ears, eye, and hands. Cameras in the area captured the 3 suspects who can be seen approaching Jackson, who is pictured in the neon shirt and black short pants with a backpack.
Pay attention to this.
Karima Joseph, who wished not to appear on camera, says a neighbor who witnessed the incident recounted what happened to her son.
The neighbor said they took a piece of the road, a broken piece of the road, and hit my son in the head from the back. Then he fell unconscious. He said he knew he was unconscious because he didn't attempt to break the fall. So he fell flat. When he fell flat, the guys continued to kick him in his head and face until he shouted out, and then they ran off. They took his phone, they took his money. They couldn't get his knapsack that was on his back because he fell flat on the back.
The distraught mother explains Joaquim has had surgery, but she fears the worst.
He had to be rushed to surgery so that they could remove the blood that was surrounding his brain. He has a skull fracture and also a very deep laceration to his skull. Yeah, he was sedated and placed on, ventilators and so on. I fear that he may die or, be paralyzed for the rest days of his life. And he's so young, he has his future ahead of him.
Joseph says Joachim has to undergo another surgery where a newer surgeon
All
would
right.
have to be
I'm
flown
not
into
gonna
the
go no
country
more
to
with that.
conduct
Let me
that
just leave
operation.
that where it is. Okay, so basically, yeah, basically we have a good idea of that. All right. Now, so as I was saying, as it relates to what we basically just saw a moment ago and really what we heard. So that second one now, the second event there, what it was, this was an out of school altercation. And you actually saw that one, a scene that is just so familiar around these parts. And what you're seeing there is just something that has escalated to the point where it would draw the attention of the nation. But that's just daily life. That's just daily life. All right. Now, even as you see here, you always hear the cry about ending youth violence and violence amongst youths, especially when you have an event that happened or situation or even an escalation in violence amongst youths. It's been happening for a long time. It's not as if it just started yesterday, but we've been in slavery for a long time. It's not as if it just started yesterday. And you may say that ain't got nothing to do with it, because I know some of you are going to quick to say that. You just hear that alone. No. And this is exactly where we're going to this evening. You see, family, what I'm saying, and that's why I began by saying, those of us who say we are of this conscious vibration here, and we are woke, and we're this and that. Again, I think we are more trying to feed an ego, or trying to stick to a dogma to promote a religion, and forget that we can work together even if we don't exactly have the exact same thought pattern, mind frame, or whatever. The fact that you are conscious as such and awoke to a certain degree, that we can agree on so many things. And even those of us who supposedly agree, we're still wasting time. Can't unite properly to get work done. But anyway, as I said, what we were looking at there a moment ago, and what we were listening there at a moment ago, that is right here in the island of Antigua, the nation of Antigua and Barbuda, but the island of Antigua specifically. And as I said, I know what's going on around the place, eh? So that is not really something new. It just went to a point where it had to make the news. That's all. That's all. So now the reaction from the people, because the people are reacting, and they call in all the talking heads, pick up the phone, and they call into the talk shows. We gotta do something about these youths. This is going too far. Okay, now they notice it's going too far. And the government need to change, trying to make some politics out of it, as if it wasn't happening all the time. And this, and we got to move this, and we need this to put in place, and all of this. What's going on? Where are the parents? The parents are the ones to be blamed. Them little picking nigga, they're rude, bad. We were never so rude when we were that age. We talk and talk. By next week, that talk done. Eh? Nobody remember this. That done, that sweep away. Yeah, it's old news until it happened again. And we concentrate on whatever happened this week, whether it's the lack of water, some houses burned down, whatever it is, COVID case gone up, whatever it is, that's what we concentrate on. I mean, as a people around here. Yeah. So there's no real concentration and love for the youths, as we call them, the next generation and all of that. And if we think they're really going astray, we're not concentrating on some sort of, mechanism to put in place to solve the problem of them going astray. Now, honestly, why I think I can speak, because remember, I'm not just speaking in the wind. Those of you who are listening that are in Antigua or from around here or been around here or whatever the case is, you know exactly what is going on. Now, we just completed the 9th African History Month essay competition, which is an annual event. So we do it every year. And although that is what we, in a sense, bring to the front, there's a lot more than that going on in the background. For sure, each of these essay competitions came with a letter penned by myself to the ministry and the minister of education, whoever it was at the time, because they would have changed from the time of the Dr. Jackie Quinn to the time of Mr. Michael Brown, to the time, Dr. Michael Brown as well, to the time of Mr. Darrell Matthew, even at this present time, Director of Education, Mr. Claire Brown presently, and Director of Education, Sister Jacinta Pringle. So, but what I'm saying is, I'm just showing you that we would have advocated, even before the essay competition, it is the lack of response for the for us advocating for African history and heritage put into the schools. It's because there was no strong response or any response really at all that we decided, okay, we're going to create an extracurricular activity around the educational system. Because what we were doing, again, we were penning the letters every year it would get better, because we're advancing, we are maturing, we're learning new skills and new strategies. So even this year, approached it specifically under the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge, you understand. But the point I'm making is we have always been an advocate for African history. I want you to listen to me, good family. We've always been an advocate for putting African history and heritage into the curriculum, to be a part of the syllabus. So when we come off of the bus, we wouldn't be so silly. Because we must understand this, family. As we always say, we repeat it all the time, Mosiah Garvey, the mighty prophet, show us a people without knowledge of themselves, not just Black people, a people, anybody that doesn't have knowledge of themselves is like a tree without a root. And if that comparison is correct, you don't want nothing clearer than that. You take the root from a tree. In fact, when you take the root from a tree, what are you going to do with the tree? To take the root from the tree, I mean, you'd either have to cut the tree away from its root and leave the root in the ground, or pull the tree out and then cut off the root. But any which way, the tree is already detached from the ground already by separating it from its root. If you want to try to plant it back in the ground, I don't know. So what I'm saying now, that means when a tree separated from its root family starts to wither away and die, and the fruit and everything and leaves drop off, and it's just good for firewood and nothing else. That's what has become of us, because we are cut away from the knowledge of self and knowledge of who we are. I think we all know that. And it's a serious severing that has taken place. We really cut away now, even those of us that so-called conscious. We're still so far. Yeah, man. From the true knowledge of true self. Real thing. So this is really. So this is why we continually push for African history and heritage in the school. This is why we even advocate this year that it should be a part of the budget of the education's annual education budget. You know, the budget goes out for all the different ministries, the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Information and the Ministry of whatever. You know, so the Ministry of Education has its own budget, you know, I mean, millions of dollars and all kind of things. So the African History Heritage essay competition could be a part of that, because you see, my family, as you could see exactly how we do it, the way that it is done is that we provide the prizes that the children would delight in, and we give them the essay to write, which would encourage them and basically force them really to go and do some level of research as it relates to African history and heritage, something that they may have never done. Something that they may have never done. Remember, you know, this is their roots, you know, this is where they're from. They are an African, they are people from the Alkebulan continent. But somehow we want to totally forget that and pretend as if, well, no, the history just started about 40-something years ago when we got independence. What on earth can be, you know, I mean, can go like that. So the essay competition encourages them to at least look into their Afrocentricity. Now, just imagine, just concentrate and think if that would have received the real budget that I know it should get, wherein it is advertised on billboards all over the island, wherein you have tens of thousands of children entering the competition, wherein the prizes go as far as, you know, airplane tickets to different tropical islands and a weekend in a 5-star whatever, and scholarships as well, and other great things, instead of just maybe a laptop and several tablets, which is all good, you know, for you know, a little show there. But if we were to be serious about it, then what you would be doing, and remember, we start from the little ages. We have art competition around the time of Christmas, art competition, where we ask the youths to draw an African version of Christ and his mother. Not a black Jesus and black Mary. People, I never say that. An African version of Christ and his mother. So even if you come with Heru and Isis, that's an African version of Christ and his mother. So what it is now, every around the time of Christmas, we do that. And that's specifically for the younger ones. What I'm showing you in the family, what I'm showing you is that if you were to take these ideas and institutionalize them, in reality, and it's not to say that I'm just talking. As I said, every year, the letters are penned and reach to the desk of whoever is in charge of the education of the children every year. It's not as if I'm like this character you're not too sure of, you know. There was a time when I am positive I was the only parent on the island homeschooling my children officially. You understand? So it's not, there are others that may be doing it now because of whatever happened with the COVID and so on. So, but I'm positive. I don't mean keeping them out of school, you know, officially homeschooling, where I would approach the same director of education on a regular basis to show how things are progressing and whatever the case is. What I'm saying, family, what I'm showing to you is solutions to a problem that we're not trying to solve tomorrow. It would be nice, but we're looking for generations to come. I'm trying to show you, family, when you cut people away from who they are, what you see there, that's not us. And don't try to point and say, oh, in Africa, that's how they go and check Liberia. I know the history, man. That's not us neither. They're robbed of their self as well. I'm trying to show you in the ancient African kingdom, and this is why I always point out The Wretched of the Earth by Frantz Fanon. Read that book, where he clearly says that in the kingdom of the Dahomey, the Benin Voodoo kingdom, he says, that's Frantz Fanon, one of our esteemed scholars and an ancestor. He says that, listen, in that kingdom there, when a man is to look at his brother's wife and think in a way that he should not think, and you know what kind of way that is, right? Now, because of the moral standings of that kingdom and the anciency of the order, Brother Frantz Fanon says that this man, without any man coming to him as the judge, without anyone coming to him as the jury, he within his own self would understand the wrong that he would have done, and however he does it, he recompenses himself and bring an offering to the family for the sin he committed in his mind. So he looked at his brother's wife. Brother may not be his brother, you know, but the brethren, you know, he's sin in his mind. And when he go home and he penetrate it and light a chalice and take a draw, he said, Todd, that's what you were doing, man. Come on, man. Come better than that, man. I shouldn't look at Nzinga like that, man. No, man. Let me go and check Shaka, man, and give him a gift for the wrongs that I have done. You know, I don't know exactly how they do it, but that's what the brother says in the book. You understand? So the point is, now, to some that may sound strange, like anything can go, but even in the Bible, Christ clearly shows you in the days of Moses, you know, when you would have committed adultery, they would stone you to death. But verily, verily, I say unto you, yeah, that even if you think about it, you have already done it. Yeah, in your heart. So that's the same sort of holy, you know, concepts that we had in ancient Africa. Listen, family, we're talking about kingdoms where you had no word for prison. Yeah, the kingdom of Cuba. Check the book, The Destruction of Black Civilization. Check the tapes of Dr. Henrik Clark. No word for prison, no word for old people home. You think a line, okay, you can't tell me this one is fake. No word for homosexuality. Do you know why there's no word for these things? Because we couldn't fathom them. Like, wow, like somebody does that? You know, like it just wasn't there. You know, okay, as I said, for example, a sodomite. That for sure. You could obviously see that we wouldn't even really think about that. But it's the same thing like stealing. You understand? Look at the principles of my act. These are the principles of my act. I have not done iniquity. I have not robbed with violence. I have not stolen. I have not done no murder. I have not done no harm. Now, you may say, wow, what kind of people are, because we never knew these things. We never knew there was a time that we never knew what it meant to steal, to take up something that was not ours. We just didn't know. We actually didn't know what was that. We had to see somebody else do it and say, oh, wait, what are you doing there? What are you doing? They call that stealing. Wow. We never did that. Write that down. We never stole. Yeah, man. So wait, you hear what he told him? That's not what he told me. He just lied to him. Lied? What was that? That's when you You tell something beside the truth. Wow. But we never lied. Write that down. We never lied. That thou shalt not lie. We never lied. Thou shalt not came after when we start to lie. Boy, we start to pick up this man ways, boy. Yeah, man, we lying too. Let me try how the line go. No, nobody's home. No, you don't work like that. You can't lie like that. You have to lie. You know, no, he knows you're in here, man. If you tell, oh, okay. Well, I'm not accustomed to lie. That's why children will go and tell people, Daddy say he's not inside. Yeah, because children not accustomed to lie. You know, but you're taking them out of the innocence, and now you have to practice the lie good. We never lied. We never stole. We never had no prison. Never. Can't tell me nothing. But we don't even know that. We don't even know that. Let's put some Afrocentricity in the educational system, the man. Trust me, down the line, it will assist you from stop being so reactive. Let's be proactive. We have an international homeschool program. An international homeschool program. Not an essay competition or something else. You see, just like the emperor, we have made education our business. Minister of Education business we're talking about. On all angles. The international homeschool program is not about theology as such. Theology may become a part one day, but there's nothing there. It's theological, it's history, African history and heritage. It's astronomy. And it is language arts and biology. And our stats, we are growing. We are getting up there. You know, we started with African history and heritage and astronomy, and then biology, and of course, the language arts. And we have other things as well. We have yoga as well as a part of the whole curriculum at the Institute. But what I'm saying still again, our program is designed for the young minds because we comprehend that it is very important to get to the minds of our youths. To me, this is the first step of reparation. The repairing of the nation must start with education, not scholarships to go where. No, man, you're mashing up yourself more. You should never go into these Greek temples called universities until you have a true knowledge of self. Then you can go. Yeah, once they're still around and we, you know what I mean, you know, once they're still around and yeah, you can go. I wouldn't stop you, but you should have a real knowledge of self, man, or else they're gonna tie you up in there and twist you around. And even with a knowledge of self, you gotta be so careful. But at the same time, remember, you know, we have many universities in Africa. You know. Yeah, you may not be recognized as Harvard and Oxford and Wales. Yeah, well, yeah. University of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. Yeah, man. University of Accra. University of Addis Ababa. Yeah, Africa has universities too. But the point is the young minds now, the young minds. The youths, when you make a child have a great affection and love for the African history and the heritage, specifically, that is like you're giving them a gift psychologically as it relates to the whole aspect of who they really are. They come to appreciate who they really are. And I'm telling you, because remember, I'm a child counselor too. It's enough things we have done, you know. It's enough youths we train and rise from a long time ago. As we as youth ourselves came to a certain level of training, of certain level of militancy. Yeah. So and this is my heart. I'm talking about the young generations. I don't have to know them. I could just be driving and looking and see children moving, and I mean it's just like all of them is my children there, Rastafari. You know, my heart go to them sometimes. It just touch me. I don't know where they're up to, where they're going, coming from school, whatever the case is. And I just feel it like, yeah, it's just, but you see, a lot of us, we don't carry them kind of spirit there at all. It's all for self and just our thing. Yeah, as the animals, man, even the animals, I shouldn't compare in that way. So what I'm saying, basically, in a family, is that we have to understand what's going on. We're too reactive. We have solutions here. That's what I'm saying. We have solutions here. And I'm really talking, when I'm talking to everyone, you know, but I'm talking to this nation here specifically. But I'm talking to everyone, even those of us in the conscious realms of things. I'm talking to us all. Yeah. When it comes to our children, it's not that far, you know. We can deal with it. If we just unite on at least something, we can start by the education of our young ones, not just the children we have to, you know, but to get it out the same way that we advocate in here for African history and heritage in the schools. You know what I mean? You can do it where you are too. You may get it in. We still beating it down. It will get in one day if that system's still around, because them systems can't stick around forever, really. And we're doing it while we're building our system too, eh? Not like we're leaning in that, like if that's the king, that whole system is set to brainwash the child, you know, whether they do African history, heritage or nothing. So even if you put African history and heritage, that's just a good thing you get in. But they still have all the other foolishness that they have going on 24/7. So let's not forget that. That's not like when you win that heaven, no. But it's just a part of the battle, because, you know, that will assist the mind of the child, you know, to understand who they are. Columbus and Sir Henry Morgan and all of these people that they put down our throats, where will that carry us? So what do you expect, family? So when you see children acting like that, it may sound simple, but when you see children behaving like that, it's ones that have no knowledge of who they are, no knowledge of self, no knowledge of where they come from. And I'm going to repeat, because the smart ones of you may want to try to, you know, refer to what may be taking place in Africa in certain pockets and certain corners, as far as the tribal war in Liberia and Congo. And again, again, you can't overlook why that is happening. So let's not be blind to that. That's very important. I'm not making no excuse for that, because I have my own fire that I burn at that. But I know why it's happening. With it, the cocoa, the diamond, the coltan, the cassiterite, we already know why this tribal killing and sometimes mutilation and genocide, some horrible things brothers does be doing to brothers and sisters in a lot of these different pockets. When Liberia was going through what it was going through, man, that was a horrible thing. Liberia itself, you understand? But them is people that lack a knowledge of themselves as well. Is colonialism they coming out of it? That behavior wasn't before colonialism. That is post-colonialism behavior. I don't think you see what I'm saying. That is post-colonialism behavior. And there are many things. That's why there's a cry for reparations because there are many things that have been robbed from the people. That's why most of the ones that cry for reparations, they talk a lot about infrastructure and education and opportunities, because these are the things that are really missing totally. And then put weapons in the hands of an untrained mind that doesn't know themselves. As I said earlier, there may not have been no school shooting and killing here, but the youths them definitely have guns in school. Man, yeah, asking me, I tell you what's going on, just reality. So if they can be stabbing one another almost to death in school, and we don't see that here as a national emergency, that's an emergency, man. That's an emergency. Press conference supposed to be taking place and cameras flashing, and a decision is made. Calling Priest Isaac, people that care for the children, that have some sort of solution at hand, something for them to do. And the thing is, I have the curriculum already. This ain't no joke, dog. We have it already. We have worked on curriculum boards, specifically in the Bahamas with the Akefren Academy. It's not like it's new stuff. Certified ARCHAEOASTRONOMER. It's not like we just talking again. So my point is, family, this is why when I hear people call and talk about, oh, we need to do, we should have, we need, and what need, but we have it here. We have it here. But you see again, how serious are we? I'm not saying, oh, this is the only solution. I'm not saying that, but I ain't seen no other solution. No one bringing. That's what I'm saying. I'm just bringing my ingredient to the pot. So this is what I have, and I know it can work. In fact, you can eat it by itself. You need to put Africa in the minds of the youth. Their heritage, not just history, their heritage. That's why it's history and heritage. That's why it's history and heritage. Yeah, this is not religion. Because when the youth them go through the different rites of passage, and so that's why we don't come and burn down Kwanzaa and so like some of you. When the children can learn how to go through their rites of passage and understand the principles of ancient Africa and brotherhood and unity and oneness. Yeah, we don't teach that in our culture. We do not teach that in our culture. Not in Gossa. We don't teach that in our culture. The levels, the principles that you get even in the Kwanzaa celebration for them 7 days, if that was the principles that we lived by every day, wake up, make the youth then wake up and do that same thing, we would have a totally different society. And that's just the Kwanzaa principles alone. Whether you like Kwanzaa, whether you like the brother, Karenga or not, whatever the case is, that we've been through that 25 times already, and that may be a precise number too. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, family. Those of us who have the authority, because around here elections coming up again. Those of us who have the authority, what are we going to do for Afrocentricity in the minds of our children? If you cannot do that, you should stop talking about reparations. Because it can't begin outside of the mind. That's why people not even interested in no reparations, because they don't even understand what it's really about. So we're talking about ending violence on the youth. We got to start from the root, Rasta. We have to start from the mind. We have to start from their hearts, which really works with the mind. Because I point here when I say mind, but the mind is more than the brain. The brain is the stuff inside of the cranium. The mind, is in the expanse of the cosmos. You understand? And that's why even the Bible refers to the heart as the mind as well. It's a deep thing. It's a very, very, very deep thing. So you got to get the youth them from conception, even before conception. Father and mother, this is a deep, deep thing. This is a deep thing, family. And bring forth the child with Afrocentricity in mind, heritage, history, love for self, concepts, morals. You yourself got to learn it. We teach it. We teach the adults, pass it on to the children. That's why we have to do the best we can do in our own little pockets. But we should be a little more united. As all kind of things, as people, as Rastafari, as Bobo Shanti, as the whole works. But we don't want to unite because everyone maybe wanted to go their way and their ideas must prevail and all of these kind of different things. So if we're serious about the youth, man, we got to be serious about their mind frame. You can see that video there. I'm not going to show it again, but you can see them youths are just wandering. In the video, you have a man down the road washing a car. They don't even business about that. They don't even business about that. Honestly, watching the video, one of the youths, you could see he's a little more timid than the rest, as if, well, he kind of just with the leader. You could see who was the leader. You could see who was the second in command. And you could see who was maybe just a trail, one trailing on. Have a kind of little innocent look. I could show, his mother might be one of those that didn't expect this at all. But the first one you can see, man, he has some little badness in him from a long time now. I'm just looking and just making my own little judgment there from what I pick up. You could watch the video again. You can replay it if you like, but I'm not going to put it up again right now. But you understand what I'm saying. But that's what it is. These youths are just wandering. You see them all the time. I see them all the time. And since they have the privilege to wear masks now, oh yeah, man, sometimes the face all wrap up. Little children and the sunshades and the little stick in the hand and walking through, and like when dogs looking for dogs to fight. Yeah. So of course you don't know. You know what's influencing the mind. You don't know it. We all go through it, But it started at a specific time because a lot of our great grandpappy and grandmommy never had the things that we were exposed to. Definitely not television was around. It wasn't even invented yet. We coming from a time when we used to entertain ourselves, whether it's around the fire, whether it's in the hut, whether it's on the moonlight, to when radio came in, transistor radio, and we started to listen this and listen that and BBC and whatever we start to get, and then a little black and white television, and then color television, and then television in every room, and then big stereo in the car. Well, you have to get a car first, then stereo in the car and everything, and then handphone and computer and laptop and everything, and all kind of things coming to you now, confusing you from the moment you're born. All sorts of lies and cartoons and movies and kill this and kill that. So I mean, you can't be the same as a grandpappy and grandma. You cannot be. It's a totally different environment. Sweetie juice that, soda that hype you up and have you running mad and all of these different things. And as the psychiatrist was saying on the program, a lot of youths also smoking cocaine. She said that. They were trying to blame it on marijuana, but she said cocaine. Nobody heard that point there. Cocaine and other drugs. Cocaine, yeah. You understand? So a lot of things involved here. Plenty things. But how serious are we? Me, I'm right here. I am right here. If we're serious, I'm right here. Not that I'm waiting on nobody to give me the opportunity. As you could see, I'm still doing it. That same school, the Atlas Comprehensive School, I have spoken at that school on 2 occasions. Yeah. you could understand, you know, the feeling, especially when you hear of these events. Because the youths would welcome it, of course. And they would, you know, when we speak to children, we make them rock it, make them understand. We wake them up, we don't play around. And a cool conversation like I having with you. You have to wake these children up with, and them children, many of them well advanced in their minds. Many of them mature in their experience too, maybe even more than you. So now because they look pretty and cute in their little uniform, they can fool me. Sometimes you have to make them know that too, and you could see like, this man, like, you know, yeah, it's guns I say they have in their bag in the man. Well, not all of them, of course not, but you know what I mean. Scissors and knives to stab up, yeah. But yet still you have to understand that it's children you're dealing with. So all of these things have to come into play. All of these things have to come into play. And you see that new fad now, they're going to try to blame it on marijuana. Somehow marijuana going to get the blame. They try it all the time. That's what the fellow was trying to morning with the woman, the doctor. Glad how the doctor came back at him, even though she may not even know what she said. And she told him, well, yeah. You know, now, well, she know what she was saying, but if she knew what she was doing, she told him, yeah, marijuana. But most of the time, the marijuana is laced with cocaine and other drugs. And the hospital don't look for these other drugs. Oh, okay, yeah. But the brain have THC receptors. Oh, okay, yeah. They didn't expect her to say all of that. Yeah. All of that, man. We've written about that too. They like to talk about the children since they decriminalized marijuana. The children, them smoking and this and that. And that. They just like to talk. We have already offered our service, whether publicly and again through letters, because we write letters and send them to the authority. Social transformation. We have already contacted the Ministry of Social Transformation as it relates to that. If they're serious, we would go to the different schools and give educational discussions to the children on cannabis. Yeah. So what I'm saying, family, man, that's why I don't react. And sometimes I despise to hear those that react, that I know for sure. I'm talking about in my community, that I know for sure. Understand that we don't have to react, we can be proactive. But you see, as the griot Paddy Simon always said, and what say, who say it? Well, I don't know if you got that. It's not what is said, it's who has said it, you know. So that means if you're not Esquire this or Esquire that, you could have all the great ideas, even if they see it working, because the essay competition is working. You can see every year children come in, children get their prize. Every year we have them on television, we put them on the radio, we have them on the news when the news give us the chance, and prize giving ceremony. Officials will come sometimes and they see something that is seen, that can be bigger, that can be grander. We need Afrocentricity, international homeschool for the youths. We also offer that package to the educational system too. I wouldn't say they have rejected it. I guess we are still negotiating something. But that's important. Getting the mind of the child into astronomy, but the African history and heritage family, you see, when they understand who they are, they understand their culture better, man, that to me, that is the link. They have a true appreciation for themselves, man. They could never act like how we see them act today. It is impossible. But yeah, give thanks for the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. And let me just remind everyone, you know, of the upcoming summer solstice hike to Green Castle Hill. Just inviting everyone to join us here in Antigua. Yeah, man, don't worry about that. I think it's the place. I know, coming off of a program like that, but of course you don't know how it is, man. But remember, you know, just remember that the time is drawing nigh. You can't be wasting no time right now. Just make sure you get your airplane tickets in order. Remember, you can contact us for that too, man. You can contact us and let us see where you're coming in, where you're flying in from, and we will hook up with our travel agencies that we are partnering with to see if we can get you the best price. And then you could tell us if you could get a better price. Well, hey, so go. That's the way, But the point is, you need to be here by the 17th of June. That is the 17th of June, 2022. You need to be here in Antigua by the 17th of June, 2022. And of course, we're talking about 7 days of joy for those who have not received the understanding yet. Let me just give you a quick rundown. When you arrive on the 17th of June, that will be a Friday, the Friday evening, we're going to have a meet and greet. Of course, you're going to have pristine accommodation, so you don't have to worry about that. You're going to have a meet and greet with myself, the full crew of Rastafari Experience Antigua, of course, the Honorable Rastray for sure. And then at the same time, this Saturday now, we will be attending Sabbath service. That will be the Saturday. We will be attending Sabbath service and taking a few hours of the Sabbath service specifically. And then that evening, that's Saturday the 18th now, we will be having a wonderful lecture where our historians, our local historians will be giving us a good understanding of Greencastle Hill and the history of Antigua, because remember, you're going to see some of the sites that they will be speaking about on Saturday evening. Okay, so then Sunday now, Sunday morning, we're going to begin the day with some yoga on the beach, just kind of to stretch out and of course prepare yourself for the hike in the afternoon, because it is that afternoon we will have our first hike. So this now is Sunday the 19th. Follow me good. That's our first hike going up the Greencastle Hill. That will be an afternoon event. That will be a festive event. We'll be having Nyabingi drummings on the hill, and at the same time we will have the locals as such, people from Antigua, the nationals, if you want to call them, will be definitely there with us on that day in full order. It will be a festive event, I'm telling you. We should have several lecturers on that hill. It's going to be a hike and lecture, Man, it's something for you to experience when you come to Greencastle Hill. It's not just a hike. When we carry you there, it's not just a hike. It's hike and lecture, understanding what's going on. So I myself, Rastray, we might have a few other special lectures with us that will definitely give you another insight of all what you'll be seeing, because there's a lot to see. I want you to fully comprehend that. So at the same time, on the Monday now, Monday, which will be the 20th, Monday the 20th, oh no, but still Sunday the 19th, we're going to see the sunset from Greencastle Hill. Beautiful sunset behind these same mountains here. And that's where they will be during the summer solstice. We're going to see the sunset, and we will be there to see the stars come out. Those who will be going down at sunset, we have a team that will lead them down. But for you, those who are visiting us, we're going to be watching the stars come out in the night and observing a few different alignments that will definitely intrigue you. You better believe that. So then again now, on the Monday the 21st now, no, Monday will be the 20th, pardon me, Monday the 20th now, we will be having the island tour. Yes, that's when we'll be going all around the island, showing you all the national sites and all the different things that you would, the historical sites, pardon me. And of course, that is the same day we will be having the cannabis tour. The cannabis tour will be within the island tour. We're going to visit the Rastafari community. This is Ras Freeman specifically, where we will be having the Sabbath service. Will be at the EABIC headquarters, but where we will be having the cannabis tour will be at Ras Freeman specifically. And of course, we will also be having the chalice talk. Hey, listen, that is going to be a very full day. You're going to have a good, nice ITAL sip, prepared by the elder Rasses up at Ras Freeman. But by the way, keep in mind, that all your feasts, what they call your meals, will be provided for according to the package that you'll be taking. So I'm talking about breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be provided for you, all ITIL. You don't need to worry about nothing. You will just have to let us know maybe whatever allergies you have. But when you register, all of that is there, official registering. So don't waste no time with the registering. You should contact us right now. So on the 21st now, which is the summer solstice, that's Tuesday the 21st, that will be the day of the morning hike, when we will be literally seeing the heavens, the sun coming up and aligning with some specific stones. That will be a wonderful, wonderful day. That will be an early morning hike for us. That will be Tuesday the 21st. And then the afternoon, we will return to the beach for a cool down and a yoga session if you desire, or you may just want to soak in the beach for the fullness. Anything is anything in this, the of righteousness, of course, in this gathering. And then, of course, Wednesday, the 22nd, that day will be like a freedom day where, one would be free to basically do what you think you would like to do, and we'll just see how we could work it out. Some ones may want to return to the Rastafari camp, I'm sure, and ones may want to do other things, but we also will be having a media day on that day. So a few of the brave ones we will ask to accompany us to the radio stations and maybe the television stations to, let them know that you are here with us and having a wonderful time. Because honestly, family, that assists in what we're doing. This is not just like we're trying to entertain people alone. Yes, we are happy to do that. So joy, but this is all a part of the preservation of this wonderful hill, Greencastle Hill. You got to keep in mind, this is a hill that is being destroyed, understand? I mean, there's a lot to see, but there's a lot that has been taken away. And the idea is that nobody cares about the hill, nobody's interested in the hill, and we're showing the world that no, that is not so. Or we're showing Antigua, no, that is not so. People even come here from the international community to observe Greencastle Hill. So that alone shows you that is something that is very, very important. My Lord, God and King Jah, Rastafari. So yeah, at the same time, when we observe now, I'm saying that the 23rd now, which is the Thursday, the 23rd, that now, that's going to be a real cherry on top of the cake, That is going to be an all-day yoga retreat. Man, by the time you reach here, you'll be saying, hey, I'm so happy that I took this tour. I'm so happy that I came to Antigua. Wow, I'm so happy that I came to the summer solstice experience. And then after that yoga retreat, the next day will be the day that you fly out, which is the 24th day of June. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. And yes, family, of course, as I said, you could definitely contact us. You know how to do that. You know all the information. All the links is in the description below. And of course, you don't know how it is. Email precise@institute@gmail.com. And of course, you could even WhatsApp us or call us. Rastafari Experience Antigua, area code 1268, area code 1268 714-1227. That's Rastafari Experience Antigua specifically. Yeah, area code 1268 714-1227. Get straight access to the summer solstice understanding. Of course, visit our Facebook page, Rastafari Experience Antigua, as well for updates. And of course, the website for more updates as well. Give thanks for the life giver and the keeper of life. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Blessed Lord. On the northeastern corner of the Caribbean island chain sits the gem of the West Indies, Santa Maria de la Antigua. Antigua, renowned for its sun, sea, and sand. It has also become famously known as the Stonehenge of the Caribbean. Situated between the villages of Jennings, Ebenezer,
and Bendel's stands. Greencastle Hill, 596 feet of volcanic rocks and lemongrass. These volcanic rocks, which are too numerous to tally, naturally protrude out of the hill and are arranged to correspond to the astronomical clock, the solstices, the equinoxes, and the movements of the stars. This has been confirmed by Dr. Maura Imbert, an astroarchaeologist who conducted a study of several keystones on Greencastle Hill. I have visited Stonehenge in England and have seen for myself the methods utilized by the government and people of that nation to incorporate Stonehenge as a part of its economical development through tourism. Infrastructure has been built around the monument, parking lot, museum, and even a restaurant. And of course, thousands flock to the site during the solstices and equinoxes, and millions visit each year. If preserved, developed, and marketed properly, Greencastle Hill, the Stonehenge of the Caribbean, could attract millions as well, in numbers of persons as well as in dollars and pounds. It will provide employment as well as career opportunities for Antiguans, and it would add to the value and appreciation of Antigua internationally. Greencastle Hill has been used for decades as a site for the creation of aggregates and building materials. As it is already a national park, we as a nation should seriously consider Greencastle Hill and preserve it and utilize it, for it is our national treasure and a sacred hill. The nations and nature will applaud us for such actions. I thank you.